Hello everyone, my name is Peter Bringy. I'm the pastor at Covenant Family Church, and I will just take a few minutes here to talk a little bit about who God is. A pretty important conversation, right? We use the term God, but what do we actually mean by that term? Looking to the Bible as God's revelation of himself, we find that first, God is a spirit. In John 4, Jesus says that. So he doesn't have body parts, he doesn't have a body. Jesus has a body, but that's because he became man as well as God. But God properly is invisible, though he can manifest his glory as he wants visibly. Second, God is infinite. He created everything that was made, but he himself is not made, as John 1:3 would teach. So he is eternal, he is all-powerful, he does whatever he pleases, he is present everywhere, he knows the future, he decrees all things by his power, by his will. And so he is infinite, not limited and created like us. And that plays into the next truth, that God is God and we are not. He is the only one who is God. When we say God, we mean something that is totally unique, different from everything else. That the God is one, both that there is only one God, and also that God himself is one in essence. Even though there are three who are God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, those are not interchangeable persons, but each are this one God, the same in substance. We might find that in Deuteronomy 6:4, that the Lord our God, the Lord is one. And 1 Corinthians 8 has a lot to say on that as well. And from the fact that we see here that God is three persons, we see that God also is personal. That God has a character. He's not some impersonal force that we use to describe the universe. Rather, he has a character, like 1 John says in chapter 1, that he is light. In him is no darkness at all. This means that he is righteous and holy. He does not tolerate or approve of evil. He is very much unlike us who are afflicted with sin and depravity, but rather he is perfectly righteous and just. But also, 1 John says in chapter 4 that God is love. God is merciful and gracious, compassionate, slow to anger. He provides salvation through Jesus Christ for those who are sinners. And he is steadfast and faithful in his love towards his people. This is the God who exists and the God whom we can serve through Jesus Christ. And so as Deuteronomy 6:4 says, it starts out by saying, the Lord our God, the Lord is one, he is the only God, he is our God. And it applies that by saying, therefore, love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind, everything that you have. He has claimed your wholehearted devotion. You are not have your devotion divided by multiple gods claiming your service, but rather there is one whom you should serve. And then it goes on to say his word then should be defining reality in your life. It should be put on your heart, internalized. Put it as it were on your eyes so that you see life through it. Put as it were on your hands so that you might do it, that you might speak of it, that it might influence the education of your children, that it might be put as it were on your house's doors and your city's gates. In other words, it should regulate your life wherever you are at, because we all serve one God who is sovereign over all. So let us take these things to heart, and let us serve the one true and living God who has made himself known to us through his word. And let us turn from our own imaginations, our own ideas about the way God should be, and let us pay attention to the God who is there.